What up, guys? I'm Example, as always, and I'm here tonight for Valentine's Day to take a comprehensive look at Jellal and Erza from Fairy Tale. Now, this is a really fascinating couple, if you ask me, guys. It's certainly one of my personal favorites, and if you happen to feel the same, or even if you just know them, like, at all as characters, we'll probably have a great time together. And, given that, what do you say we dive right in? Starting at the very beginning, which, in this case, means Jellal and Erza as children, where they met in the Tower of Heaven. Studying young Jellal and Erza actually serves a few different purposes within the series, with the ultimate goal of these videos being to better understand the state of their romance as it unfolds over the course of the fairy tale story and beyond. First and foremost, we're learning all about how Erza fell in love with Jellal at such a young age, and we pick up on the fact that he also has feelings for her. They're a comfort to each other in this terrible place, and that's understandable. You know what else is understandable? The origin of Erza's iconic last name, Scarlet. Jellal picked Scarlet. That's the color of her hair. You know, so he'll never forget it. Understandable. Actually, this means we also know why the name is so important to Erza. Jellal picked it. I wonder, though, when they eventually get married, will he give her another last name? Say, like, Fernandez, perhaps? How much you want to bet she ends up being Erza Scarlet Fernandez? That's what my money's on, anyway. Okay, back to the point. We can pretty much skip everything from this point on until the Tower of Heaven arc climax-ish. Except for, like, this scene, I guess, which is great. So, yeah, now that we've seen it, let's jump right ahead to the climactic throne room confrontation atop the Tower of Heaven. And I mean, right away, Jellal and Erza, Tower of Heaven, 7 minutes? 7 minutes in heaven? Look at this, guys, come on now. That's completely fucking funny. But more importantly, here's where we really need to start figuring out the state of their relationship and keeping track of it at all times, because their relationship is constantly going to change, evolve every step of the way from here on out to the final chapter of the series and beyond. But at this point, what can we confirm? Well, only that Jellal and Erza loved each other as kids, and we've got that, yeah, but how have all these years of separation and struggle changed them, changed their feelings? Surprisingly, not that much at all, honestly. We quickly find out that Erza can't actually beat Jellal in their huge climactic fight. Yeah, the story just comes right out and tells us this in advance, but why is her defeat assured? Actually, the story outright answers this one as well. It's because Erza still has feelings for him. Even after all this time, she secretly wants, more than anything, to save him. That's right, all this disdain, all of Erza's disdain and righteous indignation here is superficial. In her true heart, she still craves him. She can't give up on trying to right the wrongs of the past. She can never give up on returning Jellal to his true self, which she thinks is trapped inside him, and spoilers, she's right. We see this most clearly in her expressions, of course, and in her dialogue. Just look at these grief-stricken, conflicted faces she's making. Her hate and anger, which we just discussed as being superficial, they melt away in the tense moments, replaced by these faces full of longing and despair instead. In simple terms, these scenes are important because they confirm for us that Erza really does still have lingering feelings for Jellal. Even now, even at his very worst, when he's literally openly evil and threatening not only her life, but the lives of countless innocents. She doesn't want to be in love with him. It's not like she wants to be feeling these things. She just can't help it. And what happens next? Well, predictably, evil Jellal mercilessly plays her, taking advantage of her lingering feelings and tricks her. This also helpfully confirms for us that Jellal knows Erza still loves him, so we can check that one off. On the other hand, why does Erza fall for this? She must have known Jellal would try to abuse her affections, right? That's like the most obvious thing to do. Like in the world for him to do. And yes, probably, she probably did know at some level, but Erza's heart is just too much stronger than her mind. She's just so ready to embrace Jellal here, to let it all go, to just hug him and be held by him, and for them to die together in each other's arms. She wanted to believe they were having an honest, intimate moment. Erza simply isn't able to accept the idea of even winning this battle and going home. She was never planning to leave this place alive again, or live on without him or anything. So Etherion falls, Jellal subdues Erza, and initiates the final stages of his plan, which takes us to our next crucial scene to study, which is this, Jellal's I love you confession. There's a lot going on here, guys, to say the least, so let's pick it apart together. Up until this point, we as the audience know that Erza still loves Jellal. Erza also knows that Erza loves Jellal, and Jellal knows that Erza loves Jellal. But this is where we as the audience find out that Jellal also still loves Erza back. And more importantly, of course, Erza herself finds out that he still loves her back. Because of this, everyone involved now knows that they both have feelings for each other, despite everything, and obviously it goes without saying that for poor Erza, hearing confirmation that he does still love her, that's tantamount to torture in this situation, which is, of course, why he says it in the first place. Jellal is confessing his love to her because he knows it will hurt her. It'll hurt her more than anything because she knows it's true. It's the truth. That's why it hurts. That's why this is so devilishly evil to confess right here. But here's a twist. Jellal thinks Erza is about to die when he says this, and that's what allows him to confess his true feelings to her. He thinks he can do it without any consequences. She was supposed to be vaporized a few moments later after all, but crucially, because she doesn't die and they both survive, what this scene actually ends up doing in the long run is making sure Erza knows that Jellal really does still love her back underneath it all. Yeah, and of course, at the time it's torturous for Erza to hear that Jellal still loves her and to know it's true, but down the line, you know, after the events of this arc are long over, the fact that she knows he loves her, knowing that he always loved her, even at his worst, that won't be painful at all. On the contrary, in the future, that knowledge will be priceless to Erza. But we'll get there in a later video. And with that, let's skip through time, because we're officially done analyzing the Tower of Heaven arc. It's time to move on, but we will first need to check on the state of their relationship to see what's changed, and as of now, we can confirm that Jellal and Erza both still have lingering romantic feelings for each other. They both know that their feelings are mutual, even though they don't necessarily want to be in love with each other, but the obstacles coming between them are also plentiful at the moment. Post Tower of Heaven arc, Jellal is in a coma, and Erza believes he's dead. So, yeah, not great. We've got a pretty long way to go before a dinner date or a baby on the way is remotely possible, so let's keep right on moving, let's keep it moving, and we'll get there. Alrighty, that's part 1, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and if so, consider that subscribe button long and hard for me, would you? Either way, catch me in part 2, gang.